Your seat?
From my seat.
Oh, even better. Then I don't have to nudge you so hard from over there. He is the former Prime Minister of Finland, and he is going to be talking in particular with strategic opportunities in the Arctic North. I want to say from the United States standpoint to somewhat encourage the Europeans here that Mr. Lipponen helped lead Finland into the European Union. And I know the Europeans are somewhat impatient about the perfection of the Union, toward a more perfect union, we say in the United States. But it took the United States hundreds of years, decade after decade, generation after generation, to make the union that we have now. And I think the Europeans are really in the beginning of the journey. So to be among some of the leaders who actually made this happen in the beginning is a great honor and pleasure. So I will say one more thing, only a little introduction of each person, but the best thing about introductions, the American writer Mark Twain says, it's an honor when someone introduces me, but if he's going to do the job right, he should let me do it myself. So each of our speakers will say what they like about themselves. So Mr. Lipponen, please begin.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm that it was a wise principle of Mark Twain. I mean, as Prime Minister, my experience was that if the Prime Minister was not hands-on, nothing happened. So that's my advice for my successors. Coming to Oulu always makes our spirits go up, and I'm talking about Oulu and things northern, drawing on the authority that comes from the fact that I was born in this city and spent time as an evacuee in Sweden during the Second World War. But Oulu really is a great success story, naturally with ups and downs. But now looking up, things are looking up for Oulu in the middle of a Finnish and European recession when we really need optimism and to do things. The mobile phone Nokia has fallen, but not Nokia. So now Nokia is striking back. Most of the employees who became redundant from Nokia have been employed. And those unemployed have a good prospect of finding employment. The labor force here is world-class in knowledge and experience. The University of Oulu is #2 in research in Finland, doing well in international rankings like Shanghai. And the city leadership is dynamic and active in Arctic and Northern European cooperation. A lot of things are happening in the Arctic and in Northern Europe. The Arctic Council, the American chairmanship is more active now. There have been reports made in Finland, one given to the three prime ministers of the three Nordic countries on Arctic cooperation. I helped to produce a report for the Finnish Confederation of Industries. So there's much material for the politicians to get things done. And I believe that the Finnish government will use these reports as a roadmap for Arctic development. About the Arctic region, it contains 17% of the world's known mineral reserves, 25% of global oil and gas reserves. Its mineral deposits are among the richest in the world, including those in Finland and Finnish territory. The 5 Nordic countries have a combined population of 26 million and constitute together the world's 10th biggest economy with a total GDP of 1.4 trillion euros. The biggest investment growth driver in Europe in my opinion, is in the Norwegian and Swedish Arctic, where already announced investment plans amount to 200 billion by 2025. And this month, tenders out in northern Norway and Sweden amount to 1 billion euros. 1 month only. What an opportunity. Major assets in northern Scandinavia also include thermal and nuclear power, water significantly for the future, marine harvesting opportunities, and last but not least, logistic connections make the Nordic, Arctic, and particularly Finland a global hub with potential to grow much bigger. I'd like to show a few pictures that help us to grasp this Arctic, Nordic, Finnish vision. And here's the first one. This is already real in air traffic and becoming reality as the new railroad from Russia to Beijing via Kazakhstan and the Silk Road from China through Central Asia to Europe will be built. Second picture centers around Finland and is helpful for understanding the hub function of Finland. That is the naturally, and we'll take the next picture, Helsinki as the big northern hub. So this is another way of looking at our whole region, where Helsinki really has a potential to have even a bigger role in global logistics. And finally, back to Arctic vision. This picture shows the potential of the northern sea route to Asia and air and rail connections. So this is already also to a great part reality, but this shows the potential. So we need to think global, although we are here in a city and in a region and in a country and in Northern Europe. The next and the last logistics frontier is closing the missing link in European infrastructure, that is the connection to the Barents Sea through Finland by constructing a railway from Rovaniemi to Kirkenes. In my opinion, that should be done, a 3 to 4 billion euro project. Then we would have completed the European south-north connection from the Mediterranean to the Polar Ocean. This is a European mission. The immediate task is to upgrade the road connections from Oulu to Tromsø and Kirkenes. So we've got to do things today. Put the spade in the ground. Another logistic structure of great importance discussed here this morning, the mayor of Luleå, is the Bothnia corridor from Luleå to Oulu. The plan announced last week to start passenger traffic from Luleå to Oulu is good news. And of course this corridor should be seen also in connection with Tromsø. So this corridor offers great opportunities, including the coastal region from Vaasa to Oulu to Kemi to Tornio to Luleå, with its world-class big engineering, metal, chemical and paper industries. The city of Oulu deserves support in its effort to develop the Bothnia corridor. And drawing the cable from Germany to southern Finland, further to Kirkenes and all the way to Asia would give an opportunity to create a communications hub that could use know-how in this region and Oulu University research, where one of the spearheads is digitalization. Now I managed to mention digitalization. Yes, thank you. Logistics investment can spur economic growth. Take the Öresund Bridge, now 15 years old. Infrastructure can act as a catalyst for development by attracting investment and business. Rail traffic reduces CO2 emissions and can help create industrial activity. Not to be forgotten, the northern plans can play an important role in urban development, say along the Bothnia corridor, with the aim of improving quality of life. Let's not forget that. It is time the companies and individuals in northern Finland and in the whole country understand the opportunity and the prospects of hundreds of billions of investment and growing demand for labor in the Arctic region. This is a challenge not only for northern Finland, but for the rest of the country too, and a European opportunity, an opportunity not to be missed. Thank you.